Good morning. It is Thursday, October the 16th. This is Falcons Daily. I'm your host, CG. If you want to give me a follow on social media, you can find me at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. If you don't know who I am, I'm also the voice of Elizabeth City State football in the CIAA, as well as the voice of Dominant Championship Wrestling in North Carolina. So check me out on social media. Check out some of those platforms as well. Also, you've got FanArch as well, who powers this particular platform, and shout out to FanArch and everything they do here for Falcons Daily. And you can find them at FanArchCo, FANARCHCO, and their logo is in the top left corner up there. Injuries is the name of the game right now on both sides, Falcons and 49ers, both dealing with rashes of injuries, players who may be or may not be coming back. There's been reports of Brock Purdy, the quarterback for the 49ers, returning back to practice. They believe it was more of a pseudo practice, more of a practice estimate for the Falcons, at least anyway, being that they played on Monday. 49ers believe they went through a full practice on Wednesday. Purdy was limited. George Kittle also returning to practice as well. And Kittle also was limited in practice for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey was resting, so nothing big there. But again, when you look at the 49ers injury report, it's got literally, and I'm not joking when I tell you this, it's got 18 players on it. Okay, 18. Again, of those, the ones that are the most notable, Brock Purdy, Fred Warner obviously will not be playing. He broke his ankle. Trent Williams are off their left tackle, but he's a resting veteran. So, again, George Kittle was on the report. He's got a hamstring problem. Who else? Ricky Pearsall, knee injury, did not practice as well. Yetur Gross-Matos, one of their edge rushers, has got a knee and a hamstring. But again, it's big news for the 49ers that Brock Purdy's returning to practice. He's got the toe injury that put him on the shelf for a few weeks. Mac Jones was also limited. He's listed with a knee and an oblique. So again, if you're the Falcons, you have to prepare for either quarterback, whether it's going to be Brock Purdy or Mac Jones. Of course, it'd be, not whatever the opposite of poetic justice would be if their starting quarterback and tight end returns against us on Sunday night. It feels like that's been the theme for the Falcons over several years. Some games that we've lost where there's been a returning player on the other side who created some juice for the opponent. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time around with the 49ers. Falcons can handle their business. But again, when you see that many players on the injury report for one side, again, Falcons on their side, we had 9 guys, which is still a lot. But in terms of players who didn't practice, for us, Jalen Walker, Clark Phillips once again didn't practice. Billy Bowman, Leonard Floyd, and Jake Matthews as well. So we had 5 players who didn't. And again, this was more of a practice estimate based on the fact that we had a game Monday night, so we really didn't practice. If anything, we did more of a walkthrough. And Raheem Morris said he feels pretty good about Darnell Mooney, who still did not practice or had limited practice because of the hamstring. And he feels pretty good, somewhat around Jake Matthews. He said Jake is more day-to-day. And again, I felt like it was more of a precautionary thing getting Jake out of there because I saw him walk into the tunnel, right before halftime. So I was thinking maybe he's going to get taped up, come right back. But instead, I think they're deciding to, to be more cautious here and to just kind of chill out and see what we got. And again, the combination of Michael Jarrell and Elijah Wilkerson at left and right tackle got it done for us. So we'll see if we have to go into battle with those two again, as the week goes on. So we'll take a look at, injury reports for Thursday on Friday morning. Next up, we talked about the wide receivers. I talked about them yesterday and my confidence or lack thereof in the room outside of Drake London. And, I was looking around at the free agency, and a lot of that has to do. A lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't have very much when it comes in terms of trade capital. We've got about just under $6 million in salary cap space. We've got, I think, to my estimation, about 5 draft picks in 2026. And knowing how Terry Fontenot and the team likes to build, I don't think they're going to be looking to trade those away right now. I did see a question in the comments about what options would be out there for trades. Don't really know right now. I feel like trades would not be something we'd be looking into just because we gave up draft capital for James Pierce, and now we're kind of shorthanded when it comes to draft picks. But when it comes to free agent wide receivers, again, I still thought, Odell Beckham would be pretty awesome in Atlanta, but I think for the money, for the experience, and for the potential, plug and play aspect, I think Robert Woods is the best guy out there right now. He was let go. He was terminated from the practice squad for the Steelers. He was only making. Right now his contract was terminated. He was making only $315,000, and I was looking to see if he had any kind of injury concerns, and I didn't see any of that right now. So again, perhaps didn't work out. He had a hip issue in January with the Houston Texans, but he was medically cleared. He was on the practice squad for the Steelers, and they let him go. But Robert Woods was only making $315,000, and again, the Falcons under their salary cap. Sounds more like the veteran minimum to me. So with the salary cap, we've got $6 million. We could throw Robert Woods $1 million or whatever to come in for the rest of the season and give us a little bit of punch in that wide receiver room. I mean, it's pretty telling when you have one receiver who catches passes in a game. You put your slot receiver on the bench, in his tracksuit as a healthy scratch. So again, who knows if Mooney's going to return for the 49er game, but if he doesn't, we need to find some juice somewhere in that room, and perhaps it could be in the form of Robert Woods. That's a guy I would look at right now. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but that's where I would be looking. And talked about playing on the road, and the last time on the road, y'all, we got our asses kicked by the Carolina Panthers 30-0. Can we play a little bit better on the road this time around? I hope so. One Falcon who kind of talked about it, speaking of wide receivers, was Casey Washington, who spoke to the media the other day. And Casey said it talking about the loss to Carolina on the road, how it kind of helps the Falcons prepare for the 49ers this time around, now knowing that you got a business trip. And Casey said it just adds to the confidence and fire of the team in both. When you lose, you learn. When you win, you learn. So to have both sides of the spectrum is huge because there's a lesson to be taught in both. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Casey. You do learn when you win. It feels like you learn a lot more when you lose because there's a much more somber feeling when you lose, much more reserved feeling when you lose because you didn't go there for that. And it's definitely a feeling of disappointment and leaving things out there when you lose. But I can tell you right now, I mean, in the Charlotte game, the game in Charlotte against the Panthers, whole hell of a lot was left out there. It just snowballed into a butt kicking that it should not have turned into. But again, it's just weird how enigmatic we are. I mean, we beat Minnesota in prime time on the road. Beat Washington at home. I know they didn't have Jaden Daniels that game, and then we beat Josh Allen, the MVP of the league. On Monday Night Football against a perennial Super Bowl contender, and we stink up the joint against the Carolina Panthers. Just gotta make sure we stay focused. Really, stay focused, do your job, and we're gonna like the results. I mean, that's with or without Brock Purdy on the field. With or without George Kittle back on the field, with or without Christian McCaffrey getting a bulk of the carries. So, it still comes down to, focus and and it comes down to details and doing the little things right, and just, as they say, doing your 1/11th. And I think we'll like where we're at. And we had some good comments, y'all. We remember we were talking about the wide receivers, and you know, you guys chimed in on that. I think all of you were feeling that aspect of it. Jeff Holton, 1225 is in. What's going on, Jeff? He said, I think we need to look at practice squads across the league for possible help. Agreed. Uh, I'm not confident in Casey Washington. Is there anyone available as a possible trade? Uh, if we just had a competent second receiver, what's up with Ray and Mooney? I thought they were almost ready. Wide receivers should be our first selection in the upcoming draft. Ooh, being that Mooney's a little older, Ray's a little older. Um, I wouldn't discount that for next year. But you do have, Casey Washington, who is one of our draft picks, still coming along, and you also got Nick Nash as well. So I don't know what the confidence level is in those guys. I mean, I think it'd be, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say right now. I mean, Casey Washington barely saw the field last year. And because of Mooney's injury, he's pressed into action more because of the lack of performance by Ray. He's been put into action a little bit more. But honestly, Jeff, I have not looked at the trade candidates right now to see who's doing what. But you know what? While we're here, let's see if we can, take a look at some NFL practice squad. That was a great question that you asked as well about practice squad wide receivers. But I would think that honestly, when it comes to practice folks on practice squads and things like that, there's not a whole lot of wide receivers out there. I think some of the best ones, really, we have Dylan Drummond, we've got Chris Blair, we got Nick Nash, Dylan Tompkins, so I don't know. Right now, I think practice squads aren't going to be the best way for us to go. I think the free agent pool may be. And then when you look at the free agents, and this is from Sharp Football Analysis, this is as of October 14th, so 2 days ago. Some of the best wide receivers still out there right now. I mean, Deontay Johnson, Odell Beckham Jr., Robert Woods, Nelson Aguilar, Tyler Boyd is available. Remember, we had DJ Shark in our camp already. He's still out there. KJ Osborne's available. Kadarius Toney, Equinemius St. Brown. Of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother. Those are some of the KJ Hamlers out there. McCall Hardman. These are all names that are on the street right now. Brendan Powell, former Falcon, is also out there. So those are players that we could look at, But again, for me, the reason why I picked Robert Woods is because, again, his familiarity with Raheem Morris, somewhat of the kind of scheme that Zach Robinson wants to run. And he's a veteran guy who can get up and down the field. So that's why I suggested Robert Woods, a 6-foot tall receiver. He's not a small guy. He can play the outside where Mooney plays. So that's why I thought Robert Woods would be one of the best guys we could look at if we did go that route. But I appreciate you, as always, chiming in. Ray and Mooney, don't know what their deal is. I think Mooney, I think he was hurt worse than they let on, and I think he should have just went on IR in the beginning to free up a spot for maybe a Dylan Drummond or somebody. Ray McLeod just underperforming. I mean, my man's dropping passes. I don't know what's going on in practice. But, I mean, I clearly remember him felt like in the Washington game, he just wasn't locked in. So, yeah, that's where we go with that. And then let's see here. Zone 6 slugger. We need somebody who can blow the top off the defense. Yes, that was Mooney's job. That was definitely Mooney's job. So the more speedier guy we have to do that, and I think that's why that would really be something that would help us out, especially if we're playing, if the other team's playing zone defense. You get a guy shooting up the top, they're going to follow through. We have underneath routes to throw to. So, we need somebody who can blow the top off the defense. 100% agreed. D Davis 4616. I think we should have been using Nick Nash to let him show his skill set. I'd like to see what Nick Nash can do also, but the staff doesn't think he's ready just yet. I mean, yeah, he led the nation in receptions, yards, and touchdowns at San Jose State. But right now, he just doesn't. They don't appear that think that he's NFL ready. So he's going to be sitting and waiting and chilling until he is. And we're going to sit and wait and chill till Friday to give you a little bit more information on the Falcons. We should have a final injury report over the weekend on Saturday for all of you. So we'll know who's in, who's out. But again, don't be surprised if you see Brock Purdy return or George Kittle or both for the 49ers this week. The fact that they're just stepping on the practice field is not very inspiring. It's pretty much it's kind of like heartburn a little bit. I was hoping for an easier win if we could possibly get one. But, again, we beat the 49ers. Again, it continues the ascent of the Falcons in terms of our way up the popularity charts and blah, 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 blah. That puts us at 4-2 if we can win that game. Put some pressure on Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay's got a big game coming up as well. So, for us, just go out there and just do the dirty bird thing, man. If we play how we played on Monday, or if we played how we played, the Sunday before that again, or 2 Sundays before that against Washington, again, we're going to like what we see, but it all starts with stopping Christian McCaffrey. We'll be back on Falcons Friday, y'all, to chop it up some more. Until then, sayonara and buenos noches.